because the game it was physical, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, that's AAU basketball right now. There is a lot of AAU basketball that's just pure physicality. You know what I mean? Like it's not pass, cut, pass, shoot. Oh, light box out. No, they getting in there, they getting to it. You know what I mean? Because again, a lot of these coaches they want men, they want dogs,
Mm-hmm.
and so that's what you got to train them for. You know what I mean? Especially like say out where I am. You know what I mean? We got the Loudoun County and certain areas of Prince William where they're just they play that rich boy basketball. And
You hear me?
I've been telling the kids from day one,
Yeah.
get out of that rich boy Loudoun County. I'm
We
in the
live. Just let
Lifetime
y'all know it.
gym, huh?
So we live
Oh,
before my man get the Saints.
I was like, it was this
But my
moment.
man self-incriminate himself, bro. You know what I'm saying? We
Nah,
live.
but I like to get. I tell them all. I tell them, like I said, get out of that rich boy. Loudoun County. I play at the Lifetime gym. Get that basketball out of your mind. Like, stop. We not doing that. We had one kid that took his shirt off. Like, we ready to get to it. So he take his shirt off. He goes skins. Another kid looked at him and said, "What do you take your shirt off for?" And I was like, "Yo, you can tell you've never played street ball." And he looked at me. He with the dead serious. He's like, "Actually, no, coach. I haven't. I've never actually played on the street before. I've only played in the gym." And I'm like, "Yes, nigga taking his shirt off." And your response to that told me that. But again, it's that kind of mentality. So yeah, we just gotta get about it. But I'm sorry, Neil, we live. So man,
Hey, basketball's a rich kid sport, though. That's what they said.
bruh, ain't that the truth?
We locked.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's get it popping. You already know what time it is. Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Facts, where fans and creators talk sports. Tonight, we got a little light crowd tonight. We got a lot of family traveling. So it's going to just be me, Vic, and Jared, but hey, the show must go on. We're going to hold it down. Again, special shout out to all the fans and supporters. Y'all the real MVPs. In tradition and facts fashion, you already know how we do. We got to go around the room. So tonight, Vic, you're going to set it off for us, my boy.
Hey, what's going on? Your boy Slick Vic here. I'm coming at you straight with the facts. I come at you with the stats. Don't get mad at me. It's just the facts. Come bringing it to you from, like I said, the coach's standpoint, player standpoint. I've now gotten experience with semi-pro basketball, AAU basketball, high school basketball. As far as playing it and coaching it, again, it's a different world, out there. So, hey, I'm just gonna keep it real with y'all.
I bet. Jared, what's good with it?
Yo, it's your boy Jared, man. I make the take that nobody wants to make, but 2 weeks later you'll get it. 3 weeks later maybe, but I'm just here to drop the knowledge, give y'all what y'all need.
I bet, for sure. All right, so
I need to get one of those. I need to get it like a call sign. I just gotta make sure there ain't no gang signs.
So tonight's topics. Which y'all want to start? Y'all want to start NFL or basketball?
Let's do NFL, man. It's been a minute. I need to get in. I need to dive deep in the NFL.
All right, yeah, let's lock in. So, right now, it's a couple headlines. What's your thoughts on Aaron Donald coming back to the Rams? He's been working out with him, man. Is this a one-way ticket? If he comes back, is this a one-way ticket, Rams to the Super Bowl?
No, I think everybody's expecting Aaron Donald to be Aaron Donald when he retired. I think he's still going to be good. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think he's going to be at the level everybody thinks he was. I know there was something making the rounds on social media how his footwork looked now versus how it looked, when he was playing. I think it's going to take him some time to catch up. By week 8 or something, I think he'll start molding into form and start looking more like he used to. But there's so many factors in football to win a Super Bowl where it's like, yeah, I know the Rams have a good offense and defense, but it's just like they barely lost to the Seahawks last year. And it was all based on, a coin flip, like a one play here or there that made the difference. So yeah, they're in the running. They're definitely a contender, but you never know. Like sometimes it's just about chemistry. Like we got to see what their chemistry is going to look like once they come out of camp and at the how they start the season, or basically even better yet, how they end the season. Because it's like you get if they have home field advantage in the playoffs, then maybe I'll say yeah, they look like they'll be the team to win the Super Bowl. But if they don't get home field advantage, the Seahawks do, then I would favor the Seahawks. Whoever has home field, I'm gonna give it to them.
All right, Vic, what you got?
So, I mean, obviously he hadn't officially come out of retirement, but everybody's speculating you would assume. That's first of all. So that's cool. However, I don't, again, I hate putting teams as championship, ranking number one, two, whatever, before we even start preseason. All right. Because again, now defensively, yes, they'll be solid. You still got Miles Garrett on one side, and like I said, you put Aaron Donald on the other side. Like I said, yes, obviously that is a recipe for disaster for anybody's offensive line. So I give him that. Then, like I said, again, still with Matt Stafford, always been a huge Matt Stafford fan. So again, I'm never not going to believe in that man. So yes, they are relative favorites. I will give them that. But again, at the end of the day, like Jared was saying, it still boils down to a couple things. One, again, chemistry, and the two, which I always say for any sport, is luck. You got to have luck on your side, and that is as far as health, whether that's for you or against you. You know what I mean? Like, so the teams that you're playing, I still keep screaming it. Broncos, if Bo Nix doesn't get injured, they going to the Super Bowl, hands down. You know what I mean? Nobody was beating the Broncos in the AFC if Bo Nix doesn't get injured. He gets injured right before, the AFC championship. Kind of hard to win a championship, or go to the Super Bowl with your second, third, string quarterback. So this would be the same exact thing, And like I said, yes, Aaron, obviously he's older. He's been out of the league for a year or so. And then, like again, you expect that out of any retiree. And which again, the irony is, even him at this current level, he's still better than probably 80-90% of the players playing his position that haven't even retired or that are currently playing. So, I mean, the guy is an animal. He's an absolute beast. And no, with the defense that they currently have, they don't even need him to play 100%. They just need him really when it matters. So again, in regards to, am I putting them as favorites? Well, yeah, you can kind of put them up there. But I'm not, again, I'm not giving them the keys to the Super Bowl, or the keys to the city already. And like again, we haven't even started a preseason game. So let's at least get through preseason, see how the team is gelling, see how everything is working, and then I can actually coin and say, yeah, they Super Bowl. But
Yeah, no, I agree with that. But just to let y'all know, we did practice them today, and Dallas was cooking that ass today. I want to let y'all know that.
hey, son, it's preseason. Seahawks were notorious for going 0-4 in preseason, and then they would end up going directly to the Super Bowl.
No,
And
I
then
know, I know
you got
preseason. I
other teams
mean,
vice versa that will go 4-0, and then they lose their first 20 games of the first 3 seasons that they got. So, and I mean, preseason, I ain't put no stock in it. Now, what I do like about preseason is you do get to see, hey, do you get to see the flashes, right? The flashes of, can they make something work, or is this a good quarterback? Is that a good running back? How's that offensive line going to do? You do get to see flashes, but in regards to like it is everything in its totality. And nobody paying no attention to preseason. That's why tickets are damn near free.
Yeah.
so what no, I feel that. I feel that. What was your thoughts on Carson Beck, man?
Look, I think Carson Beck should be the starting quarterback for the Arizona Cardinals. Like I say with most teams, if you don't know who your starting quarterback is going to be, and you got a veteran that who's been around the league for a while, start the rookie. Like regardless, their team's going to be trash this year, or likely not even they have no chance of making the playoffs. So why not just go and see what you got with Carson Beck? Because at worst, let's say he does have a good season, and let's say they go like 7-10 or something like that, and he puts up good numbers. You got a trade piece, and then coming into next year, you got like 5 quarterbacks are supposed to be first round quarterbacks. Whether that's the same at the end of the year, I don't know. But I think there's going to be at least 3 quarterbacks that come out of this year who are going to be first round quarterbacks. If you try to start Jacoby Brissett, let's say he gets hot and y'all make the playoffs, then you're out of the running for a good quarterback, and Jacoby Brissett isn't going to be a long term answer. I don't know why these teams want old quarterbacks just for a year. It just doesn't make any sense. Like if I'm the Steelers, I'm getting rid of Aaron Rodgers. If I'm the Cleveland Browns, there's no way I'm starting Deshaun Watson. And if I'm the Cardinals, there's no way I'm starting Jacoby Brissett. Like, see what you got out there. I know people go with the veteran because they don't want to give up on the season early. But if you go in the season with Jacoby Brissett as your starting quarterback, you literally have zero to no chance of winning anyway.
Well, okay, so here's my thing. It is a double-edged sword, right? And I think the problem is right now we're in one of those precarious times where it is about your rankings. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, you still got to put a product on the field that people are willing to pay for. And right now, like again, Jacoby Brissett, his numbers actually were relatively solid last season. You know what I mean? He wasn't in the bottom half. Like again, and don't quote me exactly because again, I do apologize. I came a little bit unprepared today, so I don't have my full stats. You know what I mean? So give everybody, but they give you some of the stats that I do recall. Remember, like again, I want to say he was like 3,300 yards and like 20 something touchdowns with I think single digit even interceptions if I'm not mistaken. I want to say like 7, 8, 9 interceptions. All right, I'll solidify those numbers in a little bit when I can do a little bit more research. So again, that's just giving you stats for you. Don't get mad at me. It's just the facts. Like I said, you got to put a winning product on the field right now. And I think the problem is, or what I've always been screaming, I even screamed it last year on the podcast, and I've always been a firm believer in it, is that people rush putting these rookie quarterbacks in, right? Allow Jacoby, you can start Jacoby in the season, see how Carson Beck, picks up on the speed of the game, see how he picks up on the films and all that kind of stuff. And then, hey, if you see the flashes in him, then go ahead and let him get running, let him go ahead and get started. But at the end of the day, you still got to try to put a winning product on the field, and nobody's going to pay $200-300 for a ticket, $20 for a soda and cotton candy, and we're gonna go see these bums get mopped off the field, and we can't even score, right? It's because again, at the end of the day, offense sells tickets. That's just the name of the name of the game. That's why they changed the defensive rules the way that they have, because they want people want to see touchdowns, they want to see scores. But if you got a rookie quarterback out there that doesn't know what the hell he's doing, no, wait. You know what I mean? Like I said, there's no need in rushing, especially if he's going to be your franchise quarterback. I keep screaming it. Green Bay, they were notorious. They didn't start their rookie quarterbacks. They screamed to them, "We're going to draft you, and you're going to sit on the bench for 2, 3, 4 years. So please don't have any intentions. Don't sign no deals. Thinking that you're going to be playing your rookie year. It's just not going to happen." Because again, what we want you to do is we want to groom you. We want you to learn, get better and things of that nature. Rushing these rookie quarterbacks in there, like again, they get the happy feet, especially again if they got a shit line, no backfield or anything like that. They get the happy feet, they start turning the ball over, they lose their confidence. But you get those quarterbacks that go in the game where they've been able to, study, they've been able to get accustomed to the speed of the game, the physicality of the game. You know, all of a sudden, for some reason, those quarterbacks tend to do a lot better, in my personal opinion, than those who are just rushed right in. Because oh my gosh, he's supposed to be, our next savior. So all that ramble is to just say, let them continue to battle it out. You don't have to crown Jacoby, but let them know, hey, yo, you're going to be our starter. But hey, every week you'll gain your starting position is going to be optional, depending on how the rookie now ends up doing. We see the rookie doing well. Hey, we got to move on because that's our future. But if he's struggling, hey, you got the keys. Head to the back of the bus, rookie.
Yeah, see, there's a couple things there. Like Jacoby Brissett last year, I think they won like 3 games or two. I think he might have won one game, like out of the 3 games, because I think Kyler Murray got hurt. So like you're gonna have a bad season regardless. And then also, I don't think Arizona thinks Carson Beck is gonna be their quarterback of the future. So it's really just a gamble. And I'm just saying, like next year, that's the year where the quarterbacks are coming out. So I'm just saying, like all I think you're really playing for here is a trade piece. Like I think nobody's going to trade for Jacoby Brissett because they know he's on a 1-year deal and he's going to be a free agent next year. But Carson Beck is on a 3-year deal. He's a 3rd-round quarterback. So if he just somehow plays all right, that could be a major trade piece where you could potentially have 2 first-round draft picks. You can flip a 3rd-round pick into a 2nd-round draft pick or a 1st-round draft pick. Just think about Tyler Shuck last year for the Saints. Like nobody expected him to be that good, especially after they showed that combine highlights of him playing, like throwing the ball into the ground, which apparently was a joke, and they recorded anyway. But like, just think if you were the Saints, right? And then next year coming out, Archie Manning was coming out, and Tyler Shaw comes in the last 5 games, plays really good. Now you could trade him up in the 1st round, and you could still get like let's say you can get Jeremiah Smith and Archie Manning in the same draft, all off a gamble you took off playing a rookie. I think it's worth it, especially if it's like a guy you don't think is going to be your long term. Like, but to your point, I do like what Green Bay does with their selected first round quarterback, but I just feel like the Cardinals don't have the quarterback of the future on their roster, so you might as well just roll people out and see what you got because nobody's going to win on that team this year. They don't have the talent overall, in my opinion.
Well, see, and that's the thing. Like I said, so I mean, and you said it. You said the key word there, gamble. It is a huge gamble to do that because, like I said, again, if you throw Carson Beck out there too early, all of a sudden he's now not a trade asset. You know what I mean? Like I said, again, nobody's going to trade for Jacoby. Like you said, he's on a 1 year deal. So
The likelihood of a third round quarterback becoming a tradable asset is low anyway. So the gamble is the thing is if you play Jacoby Brissett, you know you're going 3-14. Like last year, you went 3-14 with basically the same team. Besides Jeremiah Love, and Jeremiah Love isn't looking good in training camp. But Carson Beck so far has looked good in training camp and looked good in the preseason game. So I'm saying there is you're just getting tape on them. Like get them some NFL tape and maybe you can move them. But right now they don't have the quarterback of future on the roster, and their roster is too weak overall. They got one the guy they drafted early like a couple years ago, Marvin Harrison. He looks like a bust. So you don't really even have a number one receiver on the team. So they need multiple things for their team to even be solid in a few years. So it's just like give everybody an opportunity to get tape to see what you got because I don't even think you know what you got because it'd be different if I thought Jacoby Brissett could get them to the playoffs. That'd be one thing, but I know for a fact he can't. So it's just like he's not going to lead to winning, and fans are coming to see Jacoby Brissett anyway. But I do think fans will come out to see Carson Beck because I mean he is coming off a national championship, and he's already starting to build momentum with like how he's playing in camp and his first preseason game. So it's like it's almost like Shadur last year, even though he got put in early, maybe even earlier than he was ready. People came to see Shadur because his name, Carson Beck's name, to me holds more weight than Jacoby Brissett. But that's
no, well, yeah, and I definitely agree with you on that. His name definitely holds a lot more weight. Like again, for me, I just always say I fear ruining a quarterback's career. Now, yes, maybe like you said to your point, if you're a GM or something like that, hey, we ain't got shit to lose. Go ahead, and roll the rookie out there. So I do get that. My thing was like again, if this is the guy that we could still potentially hold on to, no, I don't want to necessarily roll him out there, too soon and risk ruining him. You know what I mean? Giving him that David Carr, treatment, rolling the kid out there, giving him the happy feet to the point where, like I said, nobody all of a sudden wants him. Which again, I felt like David Carr was actually a really good quarterback. He just went to a totally dog shit situation, and it just ruined him.
the two difference here. David Carr was your first pick in the draft. I agree 100% with that. If you draft a quarterback in the first, second round, you expect him to be your franchise quarterback. But in third round, nobody in Arizona thought when they drafted Carson Beck he'd be the franchise quarterback. So I'm just saying, like, if you ruin them or you don't ruin them, that's just what comes with being a third round quarterback, really.
Yeah, no, and that's why I said that's there lies a difference between being a GM and like I said, what we get to do is be armchair quarterback. So yeah, like I said, I do agree to a large extent. We're like, hey, yeah, go roll them out there. Hey, let's see what we can get back for them. And I get that, but and like again, the other part of this is still you got to remember, football is still played on both sides of the ball. So like again, I've always screamed that I hate that quarterbacks get all the praise and all the criticism for their losses and wins. Like again, yes, do I feel like quarterbacks can win or can lose you a game? Absolutely, but they get the criticism and the praise for wins and losses. And there's three aspects of football. Offense, defense, and special teams. You have to win two of those aspects in order to win any game. There's no such thing as winning one aspect of the game and still winning. So, again, like I said, Arizona, they still got a lot of issues on the other two aspects, let alone, like I said, just the offense, not having necessarily a franchise quarterback or a number one receiver. So they still got a lot of work. Now, in their defense also, like I said, really, to be honest with you, nobody's anticipating them winning anyways. Because again, look at the division that they're in. They got the previous Super Bowl champions. They got arguably one of the greatest, quarterbacks and now defenses that are potentially coming down the pike with the Rams. I mean, like I said, nobody is anticipating these guys winning.
Mm.
So like I said, again, yeah, at this point, sure. But again, that's why I say sometimes when you throw them out there, you're throwing them out there at the risk knowing that they're going against stellar defenses, stellar defensive players, crazy schemes. And it, like I said, sometimes that can really kill your value because, like I said, you threw them out there entirely too early. Now you're just trying to whisk them away. And like I said, if you're lucky to get a fourth, fifth, sixth round draft pick for it, again, was it even worth it at that point? That's.
I guess to me the point is like if you have no value, how can you lose value? Like I don't. That's what I think. Carson Beck has no value. Like because I think he was drafted being like his projection as a quarterback was a journeyman backup. Like that was his like his projection. So if he can actually come out and have a 200-yard game, his value went up basically.
Yeah.
There's only upside here. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that's the reason why I said. But normally I agree with you on that. Go ahead and sit for a little bit. Who cares about rookie of the year? That's what the Chiefs did with Patrick Mahomes. That's what the Packers did with Aaron Rodgers and Jordan Love, and that worked out. So it's like it always works out when you sit more because when you rush these people in, they don't know what they're doing. They're not used to the speed of the game. They got to practice more. But at the same time, you don't get better by sitting on the bench. Like nobody, like
No.
if you don't play basketball, obviously the best thing to do for rookies is give them situations where they can come in the game and they can have little successes. Like your
Yeah.
first year, you don't want them to play the whole season. You want them to come in week like 14 and then come in, get a couple snaps, start to feel comfortable in games where you're up, where the situations are in your favor and your defense is cooking. And then, once you get a couple of good games going, then you go into next year on a high. It's almost like, Cam Ward, even though he started off the year rocky, he ended the season on a high and everyone's positive going into him on him. The difference between him and Shador had some bad games going on to the end, but obviously we know why that was. But if you look at those two differences, you see one organization doing the right thing versus the other organization who's setting up a guy to fail. When do you ever start a fifth round quarterback after three quarterback changes and don't even have him prepare for the game? That's the difference in organizations. But yeah, I agree with you though on that.
Yeah, not for sure. Because like I said again, and that's the thing. Like I said, Cam got all the criticism for them losing, but Cam was doing his thing. You know what I mean? Cam was out there putting up numbers. He was doing like his receivers were just dog trash, and that's where I get irritated with some of these people that watch stats and they don't watch the game. Like you got to watch the game. He was putting the ball on the numbers, and these motherfuckers was still dropping the shit. So, but like again, Cam had to get the war wounds. But again, 1,000%, I agree on that. My thing is, hey, like again, first 8 games at least. Nah, sit back, head to the back of the bus, rookie. Like I said, see how this is done. Like I said again, especially if we have no chance of winning. We know we're not going to win. First 8 games, head to the back of the bus. After that, cool. Now, have you learned anything? What did you pick up? You know what I mean? Obviously, I'm pretty sure they do that in practices and stuff like that. But hey, cool. Going in there, rookie. Hey, we're getting ready to play Cucamonga Cracker Killers. Hey, this might be the game for you to go ahead and get your confidence up. So let's roll the dice on it. But hey, we getting ready to roll out there against the LA Rams. Hey, head to the back of the bus again, rookie. Because again, we don't need you getting hurt, not knowing what the fuck you doing. We don't need you getting somebody else hurt. You know what I mean? Because again, the job of the quarterback is to put that football in a position where somebody else can get it. He go ahead and throw that football thinking, oh yeah, he can get that because in college he could make that pass. Hell no. And wide receiver ain't going to get that.
Yeah.
Especially if you have no talent, like your receivers is dog shit. Like you don't want your quarterback like Cam Ward shouldn't have played last year. They should have never like they had Kenny Powers at receiver, bro.
All right, so let's segue to with these Commanders, because I've been seeing Jared. He been hyped about his Commanders. What they doing? What's their finishing record?
Finishing record, we probably at least going 12-5 at a minimum. And the reason why I say that, like, we finally got the two receivers. Like, y'all do realize, like, even the good year that we had, we only had one receiver. We had Terry McLaurin, and we had a bunch of like journeymen. Like Noah Brown had been on like 4 or 5 different teams, had no real success in the NFL. But of course, Jaden Daniel and the trick offense that we had. But now we have two solid receivers. Stephon Diggs, you can say he's the number 2, but I think he was probably number 1 on New England's roster last year. He was the number 1 receiver on the Super Bowl team last year. Now he's going to come on our team and be a true number 2, or Terry McLaurin is going to be a true number 2. and everybody's seen Jaden Daniels what he does when he gets some decent blocking and he's not hurt. He's one of the better quarterbacks or better young quarterbacks in the league. Not saying he's top 10 or anything yet, but he's definitely on the cusp of being that. And then you get that, and then you got our line is better this year. We got a way better defense. Like that's the major difference. Our defense has actually got a lot of speed, and when your defense has a lot of speed, that covers up a lot of mistakes, and that's been the biggest problem for us all along. And we got our pass rush is going to be a little bit different. We got better corners, and then you add Bill's coming back at running it, Bill Crosby Merritt, and then also we got Rashad White, who played with Jaden Daniels at Arizona State, and he's a multifaceted running back. I think we're going to be a hard team to beat this year. Obviously, I think Dallas and the Eagles are going to be legitimate teams. It's going to be one of the hardest divisions in the league, but I think we're probably split with both Dallas and Philly this year. I think we'll probably win one home game, lose the road game, or switch whatever, but it's going to be split between y'all. But I think we're going to beat the Giants each game, and I think we're going to end up 12-5.
So the my concern, like I said again, outside of their own division, is y'all have the AFC South and the NFC West this year, and neither one of those are slouch divisions. You know what I mean? Because again, AFC South, you got to see the Jags. They ended the job tough last year. You got to see
the Jaguars.
Yeah.
Don't
Jaguars
sleep on the Jag. Yeah, don't sleep on the
Don't
Jag.
sleep on the Jags.
I'm
Jags ended that season.
I'm going to bed on them. I'm going to bed on them.
Nah, don't sleep on the Jag.
I'm trying to. Hey, mark this down. See, that's what we need. We need that whiteboard to write some of this shit down.
All right, let me ask you a question. If we was coming off the Jaden Daniels rookie season, would we be talking about the Jags after we went to the NFC Championship? If this was last year and the Jags are on the schedule, would we talking about the Jags?
Wait. So the problem is you're putting two different years together.
Yeah,
you're taking Jaden Daniels from his first year,
right,
and now surmising about what the Jags would have been against him.
Were we not injured last year?
Huh?
So we were injured last year, right? So how can we even take that into account?
That's my point. My thing is, I didn't say y'all were going to lose. I'm just saying the AFC South is not a slouch division. The Jags, like I said, you got to remember, that is a playoff team from the AFC. To make the AFC playoffs is like making the playoffs in the NBA West. 50 games gets you 8th place. Like, the AFC is not an easy spot to win to get to the playoffs in.
We win the NBA championship, the East, bro. We the East, we winning it, bro. I'm sorry. I don't care what you say.
I'm just saying, don't sleep on the Jags. Don't sleep on the Texans. You know what I'm saying? Those are two tough games right there alone. Then, like I said, going to the NFC West, you can't sleep on the Niners. You can't sleep on the Rams. You still can't sleep on the Seahawks. So that's 5 games that we already listed right there. That's already tough. You know what I'm saying? And we didn't even get to the in-division games.
Bro, the only 2 games that you said, the Rams and the Seahawks. Everybody else move around. All right, next.
You ain't got no faith in the Niners?
No.
Oh my God, bro.
Yo, we need the whiteboard to write these joints down. Write down these bold predictions.
Got to it. We gonna beat them, bro. I'm sorry.
I'm not mad at a brother having faith in his team. Bro. But yo, to say I'm asleep on the Niners, yo, that is wild work.
Jeez, bro.
He sound like a true Commanders fan, bro. You know what I'm saying?
No.
2 years ago, was we not in the NFC Championship game?
How many years ago?
2.
2 years ago. We talking about last year's team.
Last year we was injured, right?
Those other teams weren't.
Bro, you can't. I know you're not in here talking about 2004. I know he ain't talking. I know he ain't in here talking about 24, bro.
Is our team not better than it was 2 years ago as far as talent? We got better receivers. We got better receivers. We got a better defense. What are you talking about?
Jared said, "Back in my day."
Back in my day.
2 years ago.
But one of y'all,
all 40 years old. You talk about 2 years ago. It's a long time ago. It's crazy. Like we're not 17. Come on.
Hold on. One of your old linemen though, you got hurt.
But he
the one that tore the bicep.
We just picked him up. But we had the backup. Brandon Coleman was the guy who was starting when we was winning. So we good.
Bro, this don't sleep on that schedule.
Do y'all realize we got Sonny Styles over there? Watch how Sunny Style come out this year. That's all I gotta say, man.
I'm
I
not
like
saying.
again. Hey, I don't want the misconception to be that I'm saying that the Commanders are going to trash it up. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, nigga, you can't sleep on these two
I
divisions.
slept on them, bro. I'm going to bed on these teams. See,
Hey, son. Hey, see,
nighttime,
because
NyQuil.
now if the Jags win, son.
The Jags ain't winning nothing, man. I'm not worried about the Jags. Travis Hunter is not who you think he is, bro. I'm sorry.
Hey, if the Jags wins, look, y'all play at Jags? Where's that game at?
It don't matter. We'll go there, enjoy the sun, and whoop some ass.
Hey, son. And like, what? But you still ain't say nothing about the Texans.
No, I definitely don't care about the Texans, bro. CJ Stroud gonna throw like 4 interceptions. We good.
Oh my God, son.
Why he looking
Texans.
so trees though when he came back from when he entered into camp, man?
CJ?
Yeah, he looked bad. Did you see him?
No, he falling off, bro. I'm sorry. I'm not worried about them at all.
Hey, like again, I'm a huge CJ Stroud fan. You know what I mean? He's one of my favorite active quarterbacks. Like I said I got faith in my man, so I'm not giving up on him.
You like Bryce Young too, right?
Hell no. Hell. Carolina fans don't even like that. One of my homeboys, the Carolina fan, he's still screaming, "We should have never drafted him." Yeah. Now, like again, I'm excited for the Commanders. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, so please excuse me if I call them Redskins. In my mind, they're still Redskins. But I'm excited for the Commanders. Like again, I do think they got a lot of natural talent. Like again, I am a firm believer and a firm fan in local teams winning. You know what I mean? Like again, it brings energy and everything to the area. So I love that kind of stuff. Like again, I got family members that got season tickets and so on and so forth. So like again, just being at the game, sometimes the energy and and the environment and how excited everybody is around the surrounding areas. So I love seeing the Ravens, the Commanders. I like seeing the Capitals and Wizards. So I'm excited for everything as a whole. The Mystics, excuse me, because the Mystics even are killing it. They're one of the best teams in the W right now. So I love. So again, all that ramble still to say, I'm not advocating for them to win. And at the end of the day, I'm gonna keep it a buck. I want to see a close game. You know what I mean? That's what you pay to see. You pay to see close games. So I want to see the competition. I want to see the games close. Like again, they win all those games. Hey, more power to them. I'm mad excited for them. Still don't want them to beat my Bucks if they ever
You heard
play
it here
my Bucks.
first, bro. You heard it here first. That's all I gotta say, bro. Like,
Hey,
I'm going to the preseason game on Friday with the whole fam. I'll let you know how it looks. It's gonna look good. I'm telling you.
it's preseason, nigga.
But I'm saying you can still see the backups and how they look, bro.
For sure.
We're gonna be nice. I'm telling you.
Nah, for sure. That's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? You get to, like I said, I enjoy it. I enjoy that. Like I said, I'm hopeful for y'all, but nigga, that shit ain't promising.
I'm
Told
in
you, son.
in
The
believer
AFC, like,
mode.
Injuries. We just picked on. Did y'all realize we just picked on Stephon Diggs and Jaden Daniels? Hold on. Not only does Jaden Daniels have, we got Stephon Diggs, we got Terry McLaurin, and we got Chineke. Oh, I don't know how to say his name, but the tight end from the Chargers, bro. Like we got like our passing attack is about to be crazy this year. Like we've never had this much talent at receiver and tight end, and like the whole time I've been a fan, bro. Like I don't know if you noticed about me, but most of the years I think we might be all right, we might not be that good. Like that's how I entered the season, but this year I'm telling you, bro.
Well, like I said again, y'all got a couple of bird games. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got a couple of bird games with some rest days. Y'all got the Vikings. That's a rest day. Y'all got the Falcons. That's a rest day. Titans. That could potentially be another rest day.
Definitely.
Bengals could be another potential rest day. You know what I'm saying? So what I don't want is I don't want false prophets either. You know what I'm saying? Because see, I just listed a whole bunch of bird games. Days off that these Bama's get to take. So hey, I don't want it to be one of those where y'all was talking. You know what I'm saying? Y'all thought I was, giving the Broncos too much hype. And that's where this is where I need Tahir and Angel back on this joint so I can go ahead and fry them up on it. I was like, yo, Broncos are the real deal. Nah, they ain't played nobody. I'm telling you, Broncos are the real deal. Nah, they ain't played nobody. And the only reason they didn't get to the Super Bowl is because Bo Nix gets injured. So I don't want that to be the case for the Skins. I don't want them whooping up on, you know what I'm saying, Appalachian State.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden everybody like, oh, see, look, they a Super Bowl team.
12-5. Write it down, tattoo it, put it on your whiteboard. We're at least going 12-5.
Hey, son. Hey, Neil, you hey, you writing this joint down? You
Yeah,
at
I
the
got
desk?
it. Yeah.
12.
12 and 5.
All
Anything
right.
less will be uncivilized.
Yep.
I don't know if I give them 12 and 5.
12-5.
I'm thinking, if I just have to say it, I'm probably, just throwing out a number, I'm probably gonna give them 10 and 7. I think I'm gonna give them 10 and 7. 12 and 5, like again, that's ideal. You know what? No.
With
Yeah.
12 and 5, you saying that they damn near about to win the NFC East division, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, facts.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying, son. Hey, they gotta beat for them to go 12-5, like you said, they gotta be knocking heads off. They gotta be knocking. So let me ask, because like you said, you more of a fan and you know the team better. How was the Skins defense?
That's why I'm banking on. We got speed on defense, a crazy amount of speed that we haven't had in years, bro. We got Sonny Styles in the middle, which is gonna make a huge difference. Then we got Chase on off the edge. We got the Chargers DN last year. He's another African name I can't pronounce. The running back runs like a 4. I mean, the DN runs like a 4.344. Bro, I'm telling you, this year we're gonna have the best team we've had in a while. But y'all gonna have to see it. Y'all gonna have to see it to believe it. But I'm telling you, look at the NFC East teams. The Eagles, I think they're gonna take a step back. I mean, they've been on top for the last 2 or 3 years. I'm not saying it because like they still got talent, but after 3 years and don't they have another offensive coordinator again?
Mm-hmm.
It's another offensive coordinator, and I feel like I'm a Jalen Hurts fan. I'm not gonna lie, but I think when you keep giving them a new offensive coordinator every year, it's hard for continuity. Now you just let AJ Brown go. I know he's a malcontent in the locker room, but now you got a rookie trying to replace him, and regardless, no matter how good you are, you're still a rookie. So he's going to make mistakes there. Then they've lost a little bit of talent on defense. I'm not saying much. So I think they're going to take a step back, and I think they might go 10 and 7.
Mm-hmm.
But then you got the Cowboys. The Cowboys, they got their good receivers. They got their running back. The offense is always really solid. But then Caleb Downs is the X factor there. So to me, it's us and them who are going to be playing for the division. If Caleb Downs plays as good as he's been looking, then it's gonna be a toss up between us and 2. But if somehow he get hurt or the corners don't match up, then I think we have a chance. Because the thing is, when you give Jaden Daniels 2 solid weapons at receiver, it's almost like go back and look at Caleb Williams, right? Caleb Williams, they gave him 2 receivers and they drafted a third. So they had 3 receivers and a tight end. Look how much better he looked his sophomore year versus rookie year. Now we've got 2 receivers, a tight end, a nice running back, and a better O-line overall. And Jaden Daniels was already looking better than Caleb Williams to start off. So it's just like give him the talent around him and watch how he flourishes. Because he's not like one of those mobile quarterbacks who's inaccurate. Jaden Daniels is very accurate and he can move though at a league level. Like he's probably one of the top 3 fastest quarterbacks in the league, right? Or top 5, whatever you want to call it. But I'm just saying, you got all that together, and then our defense steps up because that's the swing factor. It's like we picked up a lot of pieces this year, and I don't think people bought into it because the names didn't splash out to you because people look at just stats. But if you look at when you're actually winning free agents, if you pick up 10 solid players versus 4 elite names, that's a much better offseason. And I think we picked up 10 solid talents on defense. Plus, we got a first round draft pick who I think is going to be a star. So, if I'm wrong,
like you said, the biggest thing is y'all. Well, again, I'm a firm believer in that. You get rid of some of the headaches, or you get rid of some of the high paying guys, and like I said, again, you bring in some solid people. I said even with basketball, people think that we're gonna slap these 3 scores together, and now all of a sudden we automatically championship team. That's not the way sports work. You know what I mean? You have to have that continuity. You have to have guys that are going to be unselfish and willing to sacrifice. You got to have people that are willing to communicate and play, like again, sometimes outside of what they're, outside of their comfort zone. So, like again, you hit the nail on the head, and that's why again I was asking because I don't know some of these players well enough to really make a solid judgment. But that's why I asked, hey, how is their defense really going to be? Because I don't know enough of these players enough. So, but again, like again, just the fact that they picked some of these guys up, like again, at the end of the day, Magic Johnson is part of this management group. You know what I mean? And he said it himself. Everywhere he's gone, he's won a chip. So it didn't matter what it was. So again, I'm excited for him. Like again, if they can pull this out. But dare I say again, at the risk of sounding redundant, it's not an easy trek. You know what I mean? Because like again, at the end of the day, division games are still what they are. You know what I mean? They're still division games. Sometimes these guys got Jared, Neo, and Victor going against the saying the fucking Commanders, and Jared, Neo, and Victor end up pulling out the win. You know what I mean? It's just the way that the competitive nature is, especially when you got Cowboys skins or Eagles in skins, that sort of thing. So, like again, division games are just always going to be that. They're always still going to be a nail biter. They're always going to be tough for the most part. I do agree, and I am glad that Jaden Daniels really gets some more additional help. And I wish that this is stuff that they would do with Lamar Jackson, is really give him some of these pieces that can really make him flourish. Because really, let's say again, yeah, Lamar likes to run, but he doesn't want to necessarily run. And Jaden Daniels is really still in that same boat, especially after those injuries that he took. Because again, I screened that in the very, very beginning. I said, yo, he don't have the, no homo, but he don't have the body type to be running in the NFL like that. Yeah, a couple of runs here, a couple of runs there, cool, slide down. Hey, let's live to play another day. But his ideal and his longevity is going to be predicated upon him being able to have weapons on that outside that's going to be able to get him to move that football. Like you said again, especially when he gets on the move, then he can go ahead and launch it. You look at even someone like Patrick Mahomes. Like I said again, he took a couple of hits. All of a sudden, them knees started buckling, and he walking around with the Ben Roethlisberger, sweater vest. You know what I'm saying? Now he all because them hits they no joke. So, again, yes, I'm excited to see what they can do. But that again, to go 12-5, at the end of the day, you're still screaming that you're damn near mopping the AFC South and the NFC West. That's not going to be easy. That's saying that you're going to mop pretty much or a split kind of, with the Cowboys and the Eagles. Like I said, again, you be surprised. Like I said, Giants may get in there and sneak one in. You just don't know. Like I said, again, that's why they say any given Sunday. You know what I mean? That's where that term actually originated from. Because it's like, yo, any given Sunday, somebody can go ahead and get that dub. So, like again, I pray that everybody stays healthy. But again, at the end of the day, they still got to put it together.
The thing about the Giants, man, is like I don't believe in them because I don't believe in the defense. Like I know the offense is going to be solid, but actually Malik Neighbors is coming off an injury, and who they picked up? They let Wendell Robinson go, didn't they?
Look, if they did, I wouldn't be surprised because he couldn't catch a cold last year.
No, Wendell Robinson went for 1,000 yards last year. What do you mean?
Oh, did he? What am I
Yeah,
thinking of?
that was they after Malik Neighbors went down, Wendell Robinson went crazy. But yeah, I don't believe in their defense. I know they picked up a guy in Abdul Carter. I don't believe, he's just a guy who didn't really translate to the NFL yet. I know it's only like his third year, but we'll see. They picked up another guy, I think out of LSU. I can't remember his name, but I'm not a believer in their defense, and I think that's what's going to be the difference. And then Scatterboo, he's got CTE already, so you only got 2 seasons out of him. So I think we're going to beat them twice. I know it's not going to be an easy game, but that's the thing. The NFC East is never easy, but the team that wins is around 12-5. But winning in the NFL is not easy. But it's just like sometimes when you have that right pieces that come together, and then I don't think the Giants are actually. Another thing about the Giants, they're not actually like. They're not really gelling well with John Harbaugh, from what I saw. I think, he was trying to give a speech and they wasn't buying in. He's not connecting with Gen Z, man.
Yeah, that's definitely always going to be a tough thing. And like I said, they still got that uphill battle to fight. Even like again, when you got Jack, I don't want to harp on it too much, but saying Jackson Dart and his affiliation, with the current administration, and how that's already started. Disrupting the locker room. Now, granted, they're trying to do everything they can to keep that stuff under wraps, but still, at the end of the day, it just is what it is. You know what I mean? Like I said, that was a self-destruction all in itself. For a locker room, as far as I'm concerned. So, I mean, like again, nobody's really listening to Nicki Minaj music no more. You know what I mean? Like I said, Snoop Dogg's music, ain't nobody really listening to that. You know what I mean? Like again, at the end of the day, people they tie themselves to certain things, and it is disruptive to not only just like I said the people around them, but the fans that supported them. So I think like again, yes, I still agree that the Giants that like they are going to have to come out and really show and prove that they're a unit, a cohesive unit. for anybody to really be, a believer in them. And that's why I said, again, you may be surprised, because again, that's what happens. Sometimes people go into the games thinking, hey man, these motherfuckers ain't gelling. Again, day off, and then all of a sudden they start cooking. So that's the only reason why I bring up the Giants like that. But
the orange guy might come to a Giants game and change the whole setup where we don't even get to practice. So that might.
Oh look, he comes. The 47 show up. He with us. He with us.
Nah, but he made the Knicks lose, so I'm sure he'll make the Giants lose too. So
that's what I'm saying. He with us. It is well documented that when he show up to support any team, they lose. It's well documented. Like again, I was even in my mind, I was like, nah, the Knicks are just clicking on all cylinders. There's no way that he can bring the Knicks any kind of jinx. And when he brought the Knicks jinx, I was like, yep, he with us.
I'm hoping the orange guy comes to all the Giants games so
he gonna shut 202 down. Make motherfuckers have to propel into the stands just to go see the Redskins and Giants, just for them to boo his ass the whole time.
Hey, but he bringing down them prices though.
Hey, that's true.
What's the next?
Y'all crazy. All right, so because y'all boy flying out early tomorrow, so but I want to hear Jared. You said you got a tape for us tonight, bro.
Yeah, so I don't know if y'all been hearing about Enos Cantor, Freedom, and Royce White or something talking about they're declaring for the WNBA draft. It's always the players who their career didn't go the way they wanted to. So of course they're going to declare for the WNBA draft. It's more obviously a publicity stunt because they got their podcast, and what is going to make your podcast numbers go up more than say you're going to declare for the WNBA draft and that you're transgender just to play basketball. So that gave me the idea. I think it might be time to start a transgender basketball league. And you know what the slogan will be? It'll be like, these are the best basketball players regardless of gender, and have them play everywhere. And then you'd have to have the NBA and everybody else prove it. So then plus think about it, because you can't, if you try to start an NBA or basketball league for men or women, it's already there and they're already making millions of dollars. But if you started a transgender basketball league, the community with the most money right now is the LGBTQ community. So if you started a transgender basketball league, I think it would actually make more money than both of them, in my opinion. I'm not joking. I'm not playing. I really think they would make more money than.
Hey, son, right now that sounds like you the GM for the Ladybugs from Rodney Dangerfield's soccer joint. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, hey, he put a man on the girls team.
But just think if you started the league though, right? Because like everything's already been created. That's the only league that hasn't been created. You could start your league and you would. And in 10 years, you probably make more than both leagues.
So then the question then is it because here's my question. Is it, do you say transgender league or do you just say co-ed league? Right? Because again, I mean, give it a buck. Like, I don't know if you're gonna have enough of men that transition to women, because I don't know how you necessarily say this stuff, so I don't want to be politically incorrect or disrespectful to anybody. So I don't know if you have enough of the males transitioning to women to make one league for that, and then vice versa, if you have enough women transitioning to men to have that, so at some point then it's just, this is just a co-ed league. You know what I mean? Hey, whatever you identify as, man, woman, he, she, them, they, whatever you identify as, you are welcome to the league. You know what I mean? Like I said, you can't even put the W. You just say you're welcome to the league.
That's, I mean, they got, but that's the thing, they got a co-ed league already. So then you'd have in Atlanta somewhere. So you'd have because you could do it two ways. You could have transgender men versus transgender men, and transgender women versus transgender women. Because I think there are some trans kids and adults that would want to play basketball that don't have the opportunity to play basketball. So if you gave them an opportunity to play, they might be better than anybody else. You don't know. Because it's people who don't have a chance.
Well, see, the problem with the women transitioning to men league is you still could put them in the WNBA. You know what I mean? Like nobody's looking at them to be like, oh, hey, they got to play with the men. The concern is the men that transition to women and them playing in the women's league. That's the, you know what I'm saying? That's really the big concern. And again, the irony in it, Dave Chappelle even joked about this years ago on his Netflix special where he was like, hey, LeBron James all of a sudden decide he want to be a woman. Niggas are going to be okay with this? They're not. You like, keep it a buck. So, you know, again, that's why I'm really kind of confused of what all the uproar is about even now. As again, Dave Chappelle joked about this years ago and everybody understood it was okay. You know, like it you know, and like I said, that's why Enes Kanter and Royce White. That's why they troll. Like, come on, these Bamas are trolling. You
They
know what I
probably
mean?
I'm just saying, I think it's an opportunity if you have the trans league, bro. Like, I think it would actually go crazy. Like, I'm saying financially, you would make a lot of money. Like, and I think they might make more money than everybody else at the end of the day.
I don't know, man. That must be like the semi-pro league from what's your boy? You know, the Flint Tropics.
It would bring new fans to the game, and it would like it bring a different perspective. I think you bring more a different. I think you bring a bigger crowd, like a different crowd and a bigger crowd. It'd be like it might actually be something that's like it transcends just basketball. Like I don't know, because like this is what I think. I think what most people think, and I'm gonna be honest, what I think most people think, and I'm not saying it like I have nothing against with anybody, but I think what most people think is like it's almost like they think about it like a lot of people think of black people, right? So most people in like modern society or like corporate world, when they look at black people, they're gonna think we're lazy or whatever. So then when we get in the job, they're always gonna start. They're gonna like they're going to be standoffish to us. They're going to think, oh man, how did they get the job? But then when they start seeing you working hard, then they'll be like, and they start seeing you have the same interests as everybody else. They'll be like, oh, they're just like me. Well, at least that's been my experience. Like even in the military, it'd be like, everybody thought you're just going to be lazy, you're going to be a problem. But then you get out there and then they're like, oh, you're just like me. Oh, because they had this conception that, something's wrong with you. But it's just like, if you see these people come out and they're great, and I'm betting you there's somebody out there that's transgender basketball player that's actually great, then this respect level is going to actually be there more than people think. And like if ESPN and them cover it, the big sporting news, I think you'll actually get way more followers than that. And I just think that it'll be an opportunity for people who don't have the opportunity. And I think because like right now you don't have those little league leagues or you don't have the college leagues, and I think we've discovered almost everything. So it's just like that's one of the things where it's like it actually fits the time that we live in. So if you gave them the opportunity, you might have a league that actually goes crazy. Like it might be bigger than the other leagues. That's in the times we're at.
And I'm with you, right? But I got to play devil's advocate with some of this stuff. So again, the women that transition to men, they can always still stay in the W. Like nobody's looking, nobody's making a big uproar about that. The concern would then be, right? Because again, I'm all for everybody, choosing their own lifestyles and rights and stuff like that. I don't know if today is necessarily the day or the time for the men that transition to women to have their own league. Not that they don't deserve it, and not that they're not talented. So I don't want people to get that part of it. I think it's just because just out of pure safety, right? Because especially in today's climate, I think, like I said, there's going to be a lot of nasty attacks from, there's still too many people that just are not as accepting of their life choices and their life decisions. So now it's going to be one of those things of, hey, oh, do you put this on TV? Because I don't want my kids to see this, and then of course you're going to have all those people standing outside the arenas, making a big hoopla. Then you got to have the question and concern of, I'm not making fun of them because they make a lot of money. RuPaul's Drag Race type stuff. You know what I mean? Like, oh, these are still men, and they're walking around in dresses. And so I don't know, even like today's climate is accepting to it.
I got to come back at that. Like,
yeah.
I'm not trying to like, it doesn't matter either way. But what I'm saying is like if we go on the ratings for like the RuPaul Drag Race, I'm pretty sure it's high. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. They get a lot of ratings. That's what I'm saying.
And I'm not saying if you start a trans league, you don't put like the teams in Alabama or like places where it's like 20 years behind or like,
ain't going to Mississippi.
Like, you know what I'm saying? But if you put it in like DC, Atlanta, like some of the bigger cities that are more like accepting, like I think today's culture is almost perfect for it because it's like this is where things are going. Like I mean, at the same time, it's like we're at a time where no matter who you are, we have a respect for people no matter what. Like for the most part, like this is the most accepting in society we've been to all people, right? So it's just like at certain point, if it don't happen now, it's gonna happen 20 years from now. And I'm just saying, like, somebody's gonna get the idea. And when I say transgender, I don't mean like you actually have to change your body type, but it's what you identify as, right? So it's just like if somebody's out there and they identify as something as they weren't born as, then that's what ends up being the league. And maybe obviously you probably can't call it the trans league. Maybe you call it something else. I don't know. But at the end of the day, I think it actually would sell way more than anybody would think because, like, obviously there's people who got their personal, bias or whatever. But I'm just saying strictly off of so we can stop this debate of guy being like, I'll dominate women. Because I don't know why any other sport, nobody talks about it, but basketball specifically, it's a bunch of dudes who want to like dominate women for some reason. And I'm like, what's the logic behind that? Like, you just like something's just off about that way of thinking. Like, I just want to go try to dominate some women. Like, okay, it don't make sense. It's like I get it. The women had to do some marketing to try to get the more viewership for the WNBA. I don't really like how the WNBA is marketed personally because like the WNBA should market more to women as well. I don't think they capture women as well as they could, but I think that's because their marketing strategy is outdated. But that's the same thing with the NBA. Their marketing strategies, basically, we got these superstar players, so then they have to be beholden to these superstar players. And then when they leave, then they're trying to scramble to figure out who's going to be the next face of the league. Whereas in the NFL, it's this is your team, this is who you stick with, and now you're a Philadelphia Eagles fan, I'm a Commanders fan, you're a Cowboys fan, and we didn't have multiple quarterbacks and multiple team players, but we sticking to our team. So I just feel like it's all about how you market it.
Yeah, and like I said, the marketing is definitely going to be a huge component. I don't know what you would, like I said, call the league. I don't want to keep calling it trans league because I don't know if I'm sounding disrespectful or facetious, right?
That's what the term is, right? Like transgenders. It's. I mean,
okay.
I'm
yeah,
not
I just want to make sure I ain't offending nobody on it. But
yeah,
okay, again, like you said,
Right.
I think had this happened,
tread lightly, bro.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So I think had this happened 2.5 years ago, it would have really flourished. And I think that, like, again, what's pending on what's going to happen 2 years from now, I think it could really flourish. I'm just saying right now, based upon the climate that we have right now.
Orange guy, gotcha.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's been too many things rolled back, too many people now feeling empowered to criticize or be nasty, disgusting, whatever. That's why I said today, like I said, 2.5 years ago, absolutely. And potentially in 2 years or so, yeah, sure. So like again, like somebody gonna come up with the league.
Back in, it's going up.
Yeah.
That's basically what you said.
So what you're saying is pretty much now's the time to start planning it so that it can start, saying in a couple of years. So it's like, hey, start sending in your tapes. You know what I mean? Let us, let us know. Hey, matter of fact, we need to start doing that joint. You tell our viewers and followers, hey, if no disrespect, but hey, if you're in the trans world, go ahead send in the tapes. We go ahead and get that league started.
And I know people gonna laugh, but it's like whoever come up with the idea is gonna be making billions of dollars, bro, or billions.
Man, but like I said, look at the ideas that people laughed about, like midnight baseball. That was like that made no sense in people's minds, and that joint has been selling out. You can't even get a ticket to midnight baseball. And then what's the other joint? The banana baseball. That's another joint.
Yep.
I literally just saw a dude do a whole flip and catch the ball, like, you know what I mean? Because again, people want the entertainment, you know what I mean? And where some of that stuff came from. That came from like the Harlem Globetrotters, type stuff. You know what I mean? People want entertainment. They want, the laughs, the jokes, so like that's where that midnight baseball,
what's that? I ain't hear that. What's that?
That's where they got like the glow in the dark stuff.
Oh, okay.
So even the baseball glows in the dark. So them motherfuckers are throwing that joint, and all you see is this little green light, shooting through. So, but people, like I said, it is selling out everywhere. Like the dude that started that league, I can't remember how many years ago he started it, and the dude is a goddamn gazillionaire now, because like I said, he's just traveling. They just travel place to place. and play baseball at night in the dark, and fans love it.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
we never know when the dude's hit, and I'm not saying one way or another. Like obviously, I'm not starting. I don't have the money for it, but ultimately, somebody's gonna get it, and they're gonna be rich. I promise you.
That's what I
And
said.
the
So we
players,
need to start that joint. We need to get some investors. You know what
mm-hmm.
I mean? Get a couple of investors out here. You know what I'm saying? Get a business loan of some sort, and go ahead and start that joint our goddamn selves.
Okay.
I mean, ultimately, this is the way the world's going, regardless if you're with it or not. So it's just
Yeah,
like might as well get either accept it or you're just gonna be a dinosaur. That's
yeah.
it. Like,
All right, Neil. We got anything else for tonight?
Nah, that's it though. I appreciate y'all boys tuning in. Um, yeah, you're right, bro. They got the glow in the dark baseball. That joint
Is
is crazy.
can we talk about Shador though, man? I need like 10 minutes of Shador, bro. Like, just
Yeah,
10
yeah,
more minutes.
good.
Good.
Yo, what is going on with these reports for Shador, bro? One day people be talking about he's gonna be the starter. The next day they be talking about gonna be out of the league. The Cleveland Browns have to be the worst run organization in the history of all sports, bro. Like, and obviously ever since Jim Brown left because they were winning them, but like what makes sense to start Deshaun Watson? Like you're paying him like 30 million a year and you're never going to get no value for him. Like nobody's dumb enough to trade from a guy coming off 2 Achilles injuries. One, two, you only got him on a 1 year deal. So even if he has a good year, he's probably going to be gone after this year because Cleveland hasn't treated him well anyway. Second of all, it's like if he does stay another year and he gets hurt again, then you got tricked twice into investing hundreds of millions again because he'd have to have another $100 million contract. So this is a lose-lose situation. And then Shador was out playing him to start it, and he had one good practice. And now you're talking about Deshaun Watson's going to be the starter. It's like, why won't they give him a chance? Like Shador or Sanders a real chance to play? It's like, is the league behind it, or what's going on here? Because like,
No, I think personally, I think that it's just the Cleveland media, man. They just have a bias. They got his hate instilled in their hearts, man. You know, they didn't give him a chance since he was drafted. I mean, you remember the reports when he first got drafted, right? They said Dylan. I mean, what's Shorty name? Mary Kay. What's her name? Yeah, remember
Mhm.
Shorty was just lauding over Dylan Gabriel, saying that
yeah,
he's reading the plays faster, he's getting the ball off, way quicker. He's adapted to the offense, he's commanding the offense. And she always had something to say negative against Shador. And then there's the other dude. What's his name? Rizzo?
dog,
Tony
hold on.
Rizzo?
Yeah, Dylan Gabriel is a flag football quarterback, bro. I just had, like, seriously, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like,
No, for sure. No,
that's
you're right.
it's true.
But that other dude, Tony Rizzo, was doing the same, bro. And at the end of the day, man, what ended up happening? So this is why, like, when the Cleveland media talks, I don't, bro. I just don't even listen, bro, because it's just none of it makes sense, man. I think these dudes just hate, and they just have an issue with this young man just not. He's just not bowing down, and he's done it gracefully, right? He hasn't, he hasn't lashed out. He hasn't talked trash. He just put his head down. He's grinding. I mean, when you hear reports from all his other teammates, they just they love Shador, man. They talk about how he's disciplined, how he's there before he's the first one at practice, and then he's the last one leaving practice. The fans love him, the kids love him, and I just don't understand why Cleveland is just why they are like that, bro. I don't know if it's the organization. I don't know if it's just the fan base. I don't know if it's just a select number of folks. But it's just like, bro, the hate for Shador is just insane because no other quarterback gets that type of hate,
Yeah.
right? No other quarterback, bro, in the league. When you look across the league, bro, there's way worse quarterbacks. There's quarterbacks that's third string. There's quarterbacks ain't even doing nothing, ain't even throwing passes, bro. And you don't hear nothing about that. Shador throws one bad pass in practice and it's like, oh, he holds on to the ball too long. And it's like, bro, come on, man. This is what practice is for, bro. Like, I don't understand. You
Yeah.
can't throw bad balls in practice. Like that's
And see,
crazy.
and my thing is, like I said, so even when it comes to some of the Cleveland media, here's part of it, right? I think because they've been let down for so long that their thing is, hey, if we beat him down and he's wrong, Neil pause.
He's just off screen for a second.
Yeah, Boston. Yeah.
Okay, so
You know.
but my thing is, it's like one of those, hey, if we don't boost him up, if we beat him down and then he fails, well, see, we told you. But if we beat him down and he succeeds, we'll see. It's like, hey, well, we didn't, we always knew. We just wanted to try to give some motivation. That's really what I think a lot of this stuff really is. Because, like again, at the end of the day, it makes no sense of why the media bashes him the way that they do. Like I said, they don't even bash Deshaun Watson the way that they bash Shador. And I also, like I said again, I think it is one of those things where they see and know that they haven't been able to get under his skin at all. They can't get under his skin. They can't get under his damn daddy's skin. And I think for some of them, they do still want to try to get back in there and disrupt or show them, hey, see, these guys are false prophets. Deion Sanders is always talking about the God Almighty, and Shador Sanders is always talking about the God Almighty. And see, look, when things went bad, see, now all of a sudden, so it's that kind of stuff that I think a lot of people are really trying to, like I said again, get under their skin, try to show them, see, y'all aren't really, praising the Lord, and y'all really ain't that, faithful and thankful and all that kind of stuff. And it hasn't proven to work. Like I said, it's really just making them look like idiots, at the end of the day. And one thing that I still keep screaming is similarly, even when it comes to the WNBA, when you have no player saying what the media is saying, then like I said again, all the more reason not to listen to the media. You know what I mean? In the WNBA, they talking about, oh, see, they're targeting Caitlin Clark. They're targeting her. But you don't hear no players, not even her own teammates, saying that they're targeting her, right? And it's the same thing when it comes to the Cleveland football. You don't hear none of his teammates, past, present, or even the future, saying, nah, Shador ain't that guy, or Shador's he on joke time, he loafing, he don't take the game seriously. I don't see him as a franchise quarterback. You don't hear none of his teammates saying that. It's the media. So I don't I don't listen to the media because, like you say again, there's so many good stories that are really out there, and again, I feel like it's unfortunate, especially with today's media, that it is always just so negative. You know what I mean? It's really not that positive. And it's always been that way to an extent. But, I feel like right now the world is just so angry. You know what I mean? The world is just so angry. The world is just so fed up. Everybody's hurting for money. Everybody's hurting for jobs. Again, people are getting frustrated. And I think it does then bleed into our sports. You know what I mean? Because, again, that's just where their job is. Just like we get frustrated, we sit home and we bitch and moan. I think some of these guys they take it to work, and they have that frustration of what the world is, instead of being a little bit more positive or having more positive insights or positive takes. And there's nothing wrong with being realistic. You know what I mean? Like, that's my thing. Be honest, be realistic. But like I said again, the hate and the negativity is just it's uncalled for, it's unwarranted. But I think a lot of that has to do with the way that the world is working right now. Everything in the world is just like I said, so negative, so down, and someone like Shador can be that guy to help a lot of this stuff. And I guarantee, as soon as he come out with one good game, all of a sudden the Cleveland media is going to change their mind. Like it's not going to be a question.
But just think about it. He had a good games left. He had a 300-yard game, but they talked about QBR. It's like if QBR existed in Peyton Manning's rookie season or Troy Aikman's rookie season, will we even be talking about QB? Like,
Brett
it's just
Favre.
ridiculous, bro. Like, them guys had like 17 interceptions their rookie year, like, and 9 touchdowns, like
Yeah.
ridiculous numbers. And it's just like, dog, I can see it in real time that they screwing the dude over, but it's like, why keep doing it? Like at some point, it's just don't even talk about it. Like, let's just see. But it's just like once you're so adamant about like we gotta knock him down every chance we get, especially Rex Ryan. I don't know what's up, Rex Ryan.
Yeah,
Rex
that's
Ryan
crazy.
Rex Ryan probably he probably worships Shador behind closed doors. Like he got a crush or something. I don't know what's up with him, but like the way he brings that dude up all the time is crazy, bro. Like just to be like, look how confident he is, bro. Like sometimes people get around black people enough, and we just start thinking that they cool, they down with us. But it's just like everything that dude's saying is just flat out like you don't. There's hints of racism in there. Like just
Yo, for real though.
because
Yeah.
like when you're mad at is because this black dude is confident. That's it. Like he ain't smack no babies. He ain't do nothing. But at the same time, you're saying you're mad at Shador, but you're okay with Deshaun Watson. But didn't Deshaun Watson get those? He got them charges. Obviously, I don't know if they're real or not. I mean, he didn't get convicted. But at the end of the day, we're saying you've been knocking every other black guy for stuff like that, even when they aren't convicted. But now you're on Shador and he ain't got nothing on his name. There's nothing to go on. So let's just be honest. I mean, it is what it is, and I just hate the fact that when the coop is on and everybody's in it, they got to get all these random black people show out of nowhere, like hidden gurus that you never heard of. And they're like, yeah, we never thought Shador was a first round pick. He wasn't that good, and it's cute. He can't read defenses. It's like he can't read defenses and he throw for 300 yards in the NFL. So then, dang, the NFL defense must not be that good.
And like you said again, it's no different than even like LeBron, right? And, we talk about it all the time. Look, what dirt do you have on LeBron? You know what I mean? And I think that, like you said, that sometimes irritates certain people, where it's like, hey, we just have no dirt on him. So, like I said, the only thing we can now do is try to attack his character, to bring him down. And I don't want to be appear to be that guy, but like again, it was something that I read where they said that black excellence sometimes makes white mediocrity angry. You know what I mean? And unfortunately, that is sometimes what the case is. And even for sometimes, blacks hate on blacks for being excellent. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to just even put that on just the white race or anybody else. Like I say again, sometimes people just don't like excellence. You know what I mean? And again, it's unfortunate. Like I say again, we talk about with LeBron all the time. Like I say, dude isn't excellent. He is considered one of the greatest of all time, if not the greatest for some people. And people just still want to attack him because he's just great. He had no outside babies. He ain't got 25 baby mamas. He ain't been divorced. You know what I'm saying? He ain't been caught gambling. He ain't been caught drunk on the street. Like you just don't have anything on him. And then, like I said again, Shador relatively is in that same realm. Like I said, dude has been a millionaire since he was a teen, and and been able to provide and put people in opportunity. Are we talking about Travis Hunter if he doesn't play with Shador? Personally, I say we don't.
I
You know
don't
what I
think
mean?
I
I don't.
really
I don't think we know who Travis Hunter is if he's not playing with Shador. But like again, people may not want to give him that credit, and so on and so forth. So like again, the guy, I'm not saying he's self-made, but like again, he has carried his own weight and the weight of others. And like again, and he's just remained positive through it all. And like I said, people just have not been able to get under his skin. I mean, he's standing up there smiling. You know what I mean? Like again, first to show up, last to leave. The guy is putting in work, and people don't like that. You know what I mean? People get angry about that. They want to see him fail. And unfortunately, hey, today ain't today, and tomorrow ain't looking no better.
But what's crazy about today's time is like when people want you to fail, even when you succeed, they'll make this narrative. Because even like the same what you just said with LeBron, it's like I have no problem with people who are feeling like Michael Jordan is better. If you like Jordan
Right.
better, that's. But it's
Right.
like if a dude made it to 10 straight finals, let's not act like making the finals isn't a big deal. Because like
Right, bro.
we all played little league sports, bro. And like how many of us won championships in little league?
Yeah.
It ain't much. And I won championships in little league, and it was hard, bro. And it
Yeah.
was like when we won, we was happy. And I've been on undefeated teams, and we lost in the first round of the playoffs. All I'm saying is like it'd be the people who barely play sports who like Skip Bayless, because I don't think he played any sports. I'm sorry, but if he did, nobody like I know they didn't win, and I know he wasn't a big contributor. But anyway, it's like when you get to the championship game over and over again, and you're talking about, hey man, he didn't win championships, bro. Like most people don't even get to the game at all.
Yeah.
They never even had a
Mhm.
chance. So if you give me 10 chances to win the finals, you gotta be up there. So it's just like some of these arguments that get repeated. It's almost like people got a mental health crisis or something.
Yeah. Like I said, again, people are just angry, and they need somewhere to dump it. And unfortunately, like I said again, a lot of times the happy person is the one that you dump it on. You know what I mean? And like I said, that shit right now has just been bouncing off of Shador. Because like I said again, they're gonna keep picking. You know what I mean? And I tell people all the time, like, hey, don't change. Don't let them win. You know what I mean? Don't show them that they are starting to get you, because now, like, again, that's when they, oh, see, all that I knew eventually he was going to crack, and thus far he hasn't cracked. You know what I mean? Like, again, people like Rex Ryan, it's well documented. You know what I mean? Like, there's nobody that you're going to talk to that's not going to say that Rex Ryan is a hater. You know what I mean? And that's players, that's other analysts. You know what I mean? Like, everybody knows. Like I said, so I don't know what the hell happened. I don't know if Shador dumped Rex Ryan's daughter or something. I don't know what it is. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know if Rex Ryan's got wife got caught beating off the Shador's pictures or something. I don't know. But like I said, it's something that you're like, dude, I've never seen a grown ass man hate on a young man like this.
It's crazy.
I just never seen it. And again, all for what?
Yeah.
Rex Ryan wife got a Shador Sanders t-shirt and a poster in the room, but she won't take it down.
That shit ain't hanging up inside her medicine cabinet. Yeah, baby. You're like, yeah, baby, Mrs. Ryan gonna look good tonight. Mm-hmm.
This Ryan. Yo.
Rex rocking that bathroom. Baby, what you doing again? You doing that again? I told you about that shit.
Hey, Rex, you got it. That's all I got, man. I had to stick that in.
I was gonna say, did she say Shador's name while Rex was trying to give her the D? Like, I
don't Hey, yo, that's why I work. But yeah, something though.
I'm just saying, what would make a grown man that mad at another man? Like, it's got.
You don't even know, bro. Like, it's clear you don't know this dude.
What would make another man that angry at another grown man? I have no idea. So, but that's the only thing I can speculate. He took my woman. Rex Ryan on outside, like, hey, see if she got a sister. If she do, hey, they just gonna be the three of us.
All his daughters are Shador fans.
Yeah, no, that's what it is, bro. That's what it is.
Oh man.
Shit. All right, boys. I appreciate y'all. Like I said, y'all know I'm gonna be traveling tomorrow, meeting up with the fam to do this retirement ceremony bowl, man. I've been getting my reps in. You know what I'm saying? I might be playing quarterback, so we're gonna see.
Oh man.
Better than Jacoby Brissett, that's right.
Yeah, wow. But shit, all right, y'all. That's gonna wrap it up. Another episode of Facts, where fans and creators talk sports. Big shout out to my brothers Vick and Jared, holding it down as always. And again, shout out to all the fans and supporters rocking with us. Um, Stay tuned. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And yeah, I'm your host, and Holla. We signing off for the Facts.
All right, fellas.
All right,